often there are people who have been overlooked, and it's nice to have these moments of purposeful reflection and celebration. My name is Julie Laperouse, and I am the Chief Talent Officer at Advantage Capital. Women make so many financial decisions, and yet we aren't represented in the financial industry to the extent that we should be. So I think it is critical, similar to all of the STEM fields where we just don't have the representation. We don't have a diverse representation in many respects in all of these fields. And we see time and time again, I have a couple of humorous examples of being the only female sitting in several different rooms where decisions are being made, and just asking a question that seems very like a normal question that anyone would ask, and then realizing as we're problem solving through that question that it truly is coming from a completely different perspective than what was represented in that room before. And I think we sometimes forget, it is the whole basis behind diversity, equity, and inclusion. We need to hear all of the voices when we're making decisions, and we need to understand and appreciate all of the perspectives when we're making decisions. But when you're actually in that room and you hear that tiny, nuanced, different perspective, or you get that one question that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise, you recognize why it is so important to have that representation in the room. And I know, especially in finance, we need all of those diverse perspectives in the higher ranks of the financial community. Women, just like anyone else on your team, we should always be looking for ways to recognize and celebrate the contributions of our team members. And so I don't want to say necessarily that you need to be specifically looking for ways to call out women or specifically looking for ways to call out your minority team members, but you need to be making sure that everyone has a chance to shine on your team. And when they shine, that you're calling it out and you're elevating them. And you're making sure that it's not just the loudest voices in the room that are getting recognized. Younger professionals, particularly women, particularly if you happen to be a little on the introverted side, often their voices are a little more stifled by the louder folks in the room. And, as a self-professed, tested 100% extrovert, I can say the loudest people in the room are not always the smartest. And so just because they're louder or they talk a little bit more often doesn't mean that they need to take up all the air. And we need to make sure that we're giving space for everyone to speak in meetings. We need to make sure that we are encouraging people to speak up in ways that are comfortable for them. So maybe someone isn't comfortable speaking up in a big meeting, but there's opportunities outside of that setting to speak up and for us to gain their perspective. Particularly as supervisors, I hope that supervisors are purposely reaching out and pulling people in and making them feel inclusive and showing them what inclusivity means and helping them understand that they have a right to have a voice just like everyone else. One of the proudest things that I have been a part of since starting at Advantage is our Women's Affinity Group. I love that the women of Advantage want to gather and want to support each other and share their knowledge with each other and learn from each other. I think that these types of groups, they are such simple ways to show that we do want to elevate more women in finance. And we're going to help our junior team members learn from the people who have trod that path before them. We want you to pick up on their expertise. We want you to learn from their mistakes. And we want to be pouring into you so that you have every opportunity to succeed. It may seem like such a small addition to the Advantage Capital culture, but I hope that the women here are seeing that we really care about them as a group. We want them to succeed, and we want to see more women in leadership. I think something that is essential for junior women in the workplace to focus on is building their personal board of directors. You need to look around and figure out who is someone who you would like to be more like professionally, or someone who you just think you have an opportunity to learn from, someone who in their personal life, you feel like you share the same values and you could learn from them because they're a few steps ahead of you. Women who are older than you, younger than you, people who are peers and are experiencing similar points in their career as you are. Really build that robust group around around you, because you will hit so many moments in your career where you're just not sure how to sort through a decision, or you hit a little roadblock. And having that board who already knows where you are, has an understanding of what matters to you, can kind of help you sort through all of the thoughts in your head and come out with a really solid decision. I mean, that's just an invaluable gift that you can give yourself early in your career.